You're sitting at home, bored on a Sunday afternoon, wishing you had that special someone to snuggle in bed and laze around with. So you pick up your phone, download a dating app, and start swiping. There are hundreds of profiles out there, but one guy in particular catches your eye. You hit it off instantly, and the conversation just keeps flowing like an open tap. Then a little while into it, he drops a bomb on you. He tells you, "I want to be completely honest with you. I was married once before, and I have recently gotten divorced." This might cause you to feel shocked, and in your head, you might already be thinking of ways to break up with him. Well, we're here to tell you that isn't the only option. You don't have to give up on an amazing connection just because he is divorced. Just keep these 5 things in mind when dating a divorced guy. Make sure the divorce is happening. If he says, "I am thinking of getting a divorce," or "we are separated and will be signing the papers soon," then think again. The divorce should already be underway or a thing of the past. Otherwise, instead of dating a divorced guy, you might end up becoming a mistress. Divorces can be very messy affairs. They can take a toll on you mentally, emotionally, as well as financially. If you are dating a guy who is still going through the court proceedings of divorce, then rest assured, he will not be in a great place mentally. He might be under a lot of stress and unable to give his 100% to your relationship. You will need to understand this and make room for it. Be prepared for days where he feels low and needs extra love and affection. It might feel unfair that you have to pick up the pieces of something you didn't break, but this is the reality of dating a divorced man. In a strange way, this might actually make you guys feel closer sooner than you normally would. People usually wait until the relationship is serious to show their vulnerable side, but you might get a peek at this early on in the relationship. He might have some commitment issues. His relationship with someone he thought would last forever has ended, so it is only understandable that he is a little afraid of commitment. It will be no surprise if his belief in lasting love has been shaken and he has started to think love doesn't last. So if you're looking for something casual, his fear of commitment won't be much of an issue. However, if you are looking for a long-term relationship, then you need to give this whole situation a good thinking over. It is best if you have an open and honest conversation with him about what he wants from your relationship and what sort of future he hopes for. You obviously don't want to come on too strong and ask him if he wants to be with you forever on the first date. However, once your relationship becomes serious, it would be good to know if you are on the same page. If he is thinking of a future, then it is all good. But if he is not ready to commit, then maybe it is time to move on. There might be some financial struggles. When you are dating an older man, you might expect him to have a decent amount of savings. However, that might not always be the case when you are dating a divorced man in his 40s. Between paying the lawyer's fee, alimony, and child support, your guy might take a little while to reach financial stability. In such situations, it is important to be very mindful of the expenses. Do not expect fancy dates and expensive gifts from day one of dating or even all the time. Remember, you don't need dollar bills to have fun. A simple walk along the beach can be just as romantic as a 5-course dinner. Keep his family in mind. Don't rush to make things public or Facebook official. When you are dating a divorced guy, you need to keep in mind that it was not just him but his whole family that was affected by the divorce, and they might still be sensitive to the presence of other women. This will especially be an issue if the loyalties of the family members are conflicted. The importance of sensitivity is heightened if kids are involved. Divorces are not easy for children. Rushing them to accept you as family is not the best of ideas. His family wants what is best for him. Have some faith. They will come around to accept you once they see the positive impact you have on him. However, this is a conclusion they must reach to themselves. If you try to push them, you will only be driving them further away. You are important too. While dating a divorced guy, it is important to be considerate of his situation, especially if you want this relationship to last in the long run and be healthy. However, in an attempt to accommodate his needs, do not forget your own. Communicate with your partner about what your expectations and needs are out of this relationship. In case he is not able to meet them, then it is time to let go of the relationship. You need to make sure you don't lose yourself in your relationship. Your happiness needs to be your priority. This is not to say that you should leave him at the slightest inconvenience, but rather that you need to be clear what is negotiable and what is non-negotiable for you and let him know. All relationships require a little compromise, but you need to make sure it is not turning into an all-give and no-take relationship. Dating a divorced guy is not by any means easy. However, it is not as complicated as it is often made out to be. It is important to take the relationship slow and have good communication between the partners. And you'll see it's going to be far easier to maneuver the complications and make the relationship work. If you enjoyed our video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.